The studio doors are locked. This is a closed set. Will Murray.
The two options that a fat guy has is to, struggle to get into an XL or shop at the store. Losing a few fucking pounds is nowhere near the table, huh?
Jason Kaplan.
Sometimes you need a shirt, and you don't have time to wait when you could lose 50 pounds to squeeze into a shirt. Sometimes you just need a shirt.
Their world.
The relationship has deteriorated. No.
Their life.
What is going on around here?
And the Howard Stern back office.
You were screaming and fighting and being drunk? No.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason. Call 888-STERN-101.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. Hello and welcome back to Back Office Radio. I am an asshole. Your host, Jason Kaplan, with our other hosts, Will Murray and Teddy Knitter. We are back after a 5-week hiatus, or however long it's been.
3 weeks, I believe.
3 weeks it's been.
We were off.
We're back, but you know what, Will? I think it was worth it. I think it was worth this wait.
According to you, it is.
Because the office...
You were the cause of the wait, so of course you're going to say that.
It was the Ralph Show. Don't forget, don't blame the Ralph Show.
The Ralph Show.
No, I do geek time that trip we were at CES last week in Las Vegas. That trip had been in the work for months. I am sorry that it took over a Thursday. I'm sure you and Teddy will have more to say about that later. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna apologize for hanging out in Vegas for 3 days and producing 2 excellent shows.
Yeah, I don't know if I would blow off the show for Vegas. Would you, Ted?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Ted,
right.
you've blown us
Work
off.
Comes first.
Since
how was
when?
Vegas without weed and alcohol? Sounds like a lot of fun.
I drank a little on Friday. I talked about this on the Howard Stern show. We went out to dinner post, the 2 shows. I had a couple glasses of wine, but I didn't get drunk. I didn't even get buzzed. So I might as well have not drank. And
I thought you had to not drink at all.
well, Howard threw that in at the very end. He
wants you to be Amish.
Right. Because he was like, what? And I understood what the point was. The point was don't quit smoking weed, but then replace it with getting drunk every night.
Don't have a crutch.
Right. Trust me, alcohol was not a crutch in Vegas.
No.
I sat in the sports book all day Saturday watching football and didn't have 1 drop of alcohol.
Right.
So
I would say the crutch is the all-you-can-eat buffet.
I ate like a king out there, Will. I did.
It's shocking, again.
We even got lucky. We the first time we went out after the show, we were just starving and hungry and tired. Will hates when I say starving. We were hungry and tired, and we were just walking. We just went to the first place we saw in the casino that looked like it wasn't $1,000, and it was basically a diner. And Ralph was bumming out. He's like, "Oh, this place looks like garbage." I'm like, "I don't care." And it ended up being one of the best meals we had. It was one of the best meals we had.
This is ridiculous. How am I supposed to eat?
So we are back, and we're glad to have you with us. Give us a call, 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610 here on Howard 101. And, Will, I got a lot of shit yesterday on the wrap-up show. A lot of people told me that I'm a rap-think asshole, that I should be fired for throwing people under the bus.
I heard you calling yourself an asshole to start the show.
Yeah.
Well, I call myself an asshole for telling Howard that it was Scott DePace in Gary's office. I was an asshole for giving Howard wrong information.
That's the only part you're apologetic about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. Yeah, I'm sorry for giving Howard bad information. But, listen, maybe they're right. Maybe I should stop, throwing people under the bus.
You were just doing your job, right? According to you.
I am going to
keep your head down.
I'm gonna host this show as if John Hine hosted Back Office Radio. So I'll just ask you your opinions. Will, what did you think of the Jason feud?
John Hine is the Ryan Seacrest of the Howard Stern channels, right?
I like Ryan Seacrest.
Vanilla Hine. But he's a professional. I do like John the way he broadcasts. But
Vanilla? No, John serves a purpose that is completely different from the purpose I think I serve. But if that's what the audience wants, I love vanilla ice cream.
We know.
We have a big Back Office Radio. I've already started talking. We have some stories from Vegas. I was there with Steve Brandano and Ben Bardo, Ralph Sorella, John Hine, Gary Delabate. So we have some stories from that. We have all new Page 69s. We have our Douche of the Week nominees. We have Steve Brandano is actually going to come down later in the show because he was not as impressed by Curtis Armstrong nailing the Harry Nielsen.
Who the hell is Curtis Armstrong?
I'm sorry, Booger.
Oh, okay.
We had Booger from Revenge of the Nerds on the show the other day, and we in our meeting it came out that he was this huge Harry Nielsen fan, expert. So we played this game where we played him a note, and he could tell you what Harry Nielsen song it was.
He was great at it.
I thought that was very impressive.
I was floored. I was fucking amazed. Howard was amazed. You guys were amazed. There was one person who was not impressed, and that man was Steve Brandano.
I heard a big Boston yawn.
Are you kidding me with this bullshit?
He said he could do the same exact thing with Dave Matthews' song, and he's
It's not impressive at all.
and he's not even a Dave Matthews expert. So We're going to have him down later in the show.
He's absolutely a Dave Matthews expert.
He says he's a Dave Matthews fan. He's not an expert like Booger is about Harry Nielsen.
Oh, he's a Black Keys expert.
I don't think he likes
No, that's what I mean. He hates that.
So he'll be coming down later today. We put together Teddy. You were supposed to put together a Dave Matthews game.
We got it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
We got it. We got a bunch of songs. We're going to play them and see if you can guess what
it's
they are.
It's just always a crapshoot.
Yeah, but the thing is that, I think the Dave Matthews songs are going to be easier than, like the Harry Nielsen songs were literally so obscure on just one note.
Well, Steve said that they were hits. So I picked the song.
Yeah, whatever you picked, we have up
And I
there.
picked all songs that I knew. There's a couple I didn't know, but I figured if I knew them, they must be big Dave Matthews songs. I'm not a big fan. So we'll be doing that a little bit later in the show. Of course, we'll have to update what happened between me and Gary yesterday.
Yes.
And all of our feelings on that. And underreported Howard 100 news story, your calls and more. Big show. Anything else, or should we just go right into State of the Office?
Let's hit it, baby.
State of the Office. This week, Howard, seemingly on month 120 of being furious at his staff, said he wished his staff worked as hard for him as Scientologists work for Tom Cruise.
I started reading about these Scientologists. I am so impressed with them. I'm like, why the fuck doesn't my staff work like
Tom
this?
Cruise walks around and he might just be talking out loud.
And the people who work at Scientology make like 50 cents a day. And
they don't even ask for money.
And they work 50 times harder than my guys.
What exactly is Howard's problem? What does he hope to get from constantly belittling his staff? And does he really want his employees to start treating the show like a cult?
It's come out that there's a lot of tension in the office. A lot of tension. A lot. And even Gary, I think a lot, and we'll get into what happened with me and Gary yesterday, but even Gary was saying on the wrap-up show, hey, there's a lot, the office is tense, and that played into what happened.
Well, yeah, he was angry at you, but I think more of it had to do with the major stress level in the office right now.
And, so there seems to be a lot
Except for Teddy, of course.
I was going to say, what stress?
There seems to be a lot, the stress is caused by, there's a lot of changes in the office. I don't think it's that stressful to guys like me and you and Al Ragone, because we're, a lot of the changes that seem to be being made are, we're expected to put in maybe a different work day than had been expressed before.
No, he wants people to work harder.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's what it is.
And more professional office.
And be more accountable for what they do here.
Right. And and when something gets assigned out there, that it doesn't just, evaporate into the nether. And also, and it's my fault, I guess, with the jackets, but it has also spilled over into a whole more professional look in the office. Howard said something on air and off air about everyone, following my lead because I'm awesome. And,
really? The only thing sporty about Jason is his jackets.
I ordered one of your jackets, and they said it'll be ready in April after they get all the fabric.
But to some of the guys, and listen, I'm stressed out as well, and I know you are too, because there's with all these changes, there's just also confusion that there's why are things changing? Where is the direction we're going in? And sometimes that confusion can be stressful. I mean, I know it's stressful to me. I've been working even more hours than I normally work, and everybody has. So,
well, it seems something that's typical with Howard is he'll want something, but he can't quite articulate what he's looking for.
Right.
And this operation is so big at this point that it's hard to micromanage everybody. You know what I mean?
Right,
at some point, you just have to have faith in your staff.
Right.
And he's in the middle of working that whole thing out right now.
So it's a process, and the process is stressful. But at the end of the day, I'm excited to see Howard seems to have a plan. And I'm excited to find out what that plan is and where we're going. But until then, it's a little bit like walking on eggshells around here. And then we all were taken a little bit aback when Howard made that Scientology comment, because it was, I don't know, it was a little crazy. I mean, I don't know.
I'm calling Howard crazy.
No, I'm calling Scientologists crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm calling, I know it's a religion or a cult or whatever you want to call it, but, I read that same article that he read about Tom Cruise, and, I would imagine that he had to be joking about that, because the article basically said that Tom Cruise was lonely and wanted a match, and so they just went out and started interviewing A-list Hollywood stars. And, by the way, if Howard wants us to do that, I like to volunteer my time to go, interview the Scarlett Johanssons of the world. But
very noble of you.
What do you think of it?
I was waiting for the sweatshop analogy. Where he's like, wait, you mean there's Chinese kids out there you can pay 5 cents an hour and they work 23 hours in a row? This is ridiculous. They'll work through burned hands and cancer? My staff is so lazy.
Yeah. And Teddy, what do you think?
What?
What do you think? What do you?
He just woke up.
Yeah.
He just woke. Seriously.
No,
Hey, but here's a good question. Seriously.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you don't really work on the Howard Stern show.
Right. I'm in that kind of gray area.
So when something like this goes on in the office, does it affect you at all?
Yeah, because your stress overflows into mine and kind of ruins my day, amongst my buzz.
Yeah, man.
The whole office is kind of, on edge, and I don't like it. I don't like the way it's going.
You're harshing my mellow.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
It's totally monking my buzz. No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, it's working for me too. I've had more things to do now too. I'm working with Lieberman Live at 5 and all these other shows, and I mean, look, I like it. It just so happens that the extra stuff that I have to do, I kind of like. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm not getting the blunt end of it as bad as you guys are.
Well, who do you think is the most stressed?
Gary,
right?
It's not even close. But I think he's taking the brunt of the punishment.
Gary. I mean, Gary. These last few months has looked like a beaten man. I mean, he's aged probably about 20 years in 6 months. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that. I think there's his job is being looked at closer. I think a lot of these changes that we're talking about is more about him and his control of the office and how it's operating. Listen, Gary, despite our arguments, on the air yesterday, is the boss of the Howard Stern.
Yeah.
He is the boss of the Howard Stern show. There's Howard and then there's Gary. And as much as I've grown here over the years and feel almost, almost like an executive, when the Howard Stern show is on, I put everything through Gary. I don't just walk into the studio willy-nilly. I don't just, you go to Gary. Hey, should I go in the studio and say this? Hey, Gary, there's something going on out here. So he's the boss. And if he's the boss, he must be getting, the bulk of the shit right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've both gone through times where you're almost jealous of Gary's relationship with Howard.
Right.
You're like, well, why can't, I be seen the same way Gary's seen in front of Howard? But this is certainly not one of those occasions.
No.
I am not jealous in any way. And Gary will say to me, or he'll talk to us and be like, man, yeah, it's coming down hard on me right now. I feel like I'm dealing with a lot of stressful stuff. And I'm saying, yeah, well, you're the producer of the show. You're the executive producer. You're the one that has to deal with the brunt of this. I don't know what to tell you on that.
Do you think, and part of this professionalism is now Gary is wearing a jacket every day and not wearing it and taking it off and wearing it and taking it off just when the guests come in.
He's special guests.
Right, special guests. I mean, that was so great.
They get jacket treatment.
I started keeping track of it, and then Gary started wearing the jacket more full time, but it was so funny who he chose to wear the jacket for and who he didn't choose to wear the jacket for. I should pull up the list.
Who are the names? Do you remember?
I'll pull it up during the commercial break. Or actually, Jim, here, if you want to hop on my Lotus Notes, just in my draft folder, just search for a jacket or sports coat.
It's sad though, because I look at old pictures of like the wrap-up show that I've taken from like 5 years ago, and Gary's got the serious hoodie on. Jason's got the hat backwards and a t-shirt, like logging the show, and it was so casual back.
It's just funny with Jason, because he's basically just wearing a sports jacket.
Right,
now.
over a t-shirt.
Over his old shitty clothes.
You're right, Yankee t-shirt.
But somehow he's it's turned him into Superman.
Hey, wait a second. I normally wear a button-down shirt. Today I'm wearing a t-shirt. But
You're wearing a t-shirt.
Yeah,
but you're wearing sometimes. Listen,
right,
this isn't to be completely insulting, but sometimes you wear, the schlubby polo shirts that you've had for 5-6 years.
Did they look schlubby?
Oh Jesus! Listen,
Oh,
I don't want to get you all.
Don't get sad.
I know. I'm not
Take a Lexapro.
I'm just saying. Suddenly you put on this jacket, and all of a sudden, everything's fine.
Yeah.
You know what would work? A bow tie.
That would be nice.
Jason in a bow tie.
Do you want to know?
Would be great.
Do you want to know the serious next move I'm going to?
Yeah, go for it. Suspenders.
Hat.
Oh, like a fedora.
Yeah. But not like a fedora. Those are too big for me. But I'm going to go to a fancy because I like wearing a hat when I'm not going to wear the hat indoors.
You can't wear it inside.
I'm not going to wear the hat indoors. Yeah. Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're going for here?
You can't wear the baseball cap and the jacket looks stupid. And I like wearing a hat outdoors because I'm balding and my head gets cold.
You gonna wear inside too though?
No, not inside. I wear my Yankee hat to work every day. And every day I get to work and I take it off and I put it on my desk. I don't wear hats indoors. Call me old fashioned, but I really think that's, rude actually.
I'm jealous you don't get hat hair.
I don't get any hair, Teddy.
No. Except all over your body.
Yeah, right. But, so I do. I'm going to get one of those fancy, bowler hats or fedoras, whatever you call them. So that's my next move.
That's
Listen,
great.
I laughed at the sports jacket. Now you're the fucking hero of the office.
We'll try our hardest not to make fun of you.
Thank you. In fact, I'm sure there's plenty of people on the phone that want to make fun of me. You're talking to Back Office Radio. Tom is in California. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
How you doing, man?
What up?
I just want to give you props for last week when they're ragging on JD about having all that crazy porno and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because that would have been like a perfect time for you to roll in and be like, well, you're so concerned about JD, making me stop smoking weed. You know, why don't you tell him to get rid of all his porno? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know I get the asshole rap a lot, but I'm not that kind of an asshole. That, look, JD had his own thing going on. I'm not going to go in there and say, oh, take something away from him because you took something away from me.
Really, the guy has nothing left as it is, so you can be a little kinder to him.
Give you a little update. JD and I have been getting along great ever since we made up on Back Office Radio.
We've noticed.
Oh yeah, we've noticed.
and I've now made a Gary an enemy. How about that instead? Hey, let's take another call here. Matt in Massachusetts, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey now, what's up, guys?
Hey now.
Hey Jason, I gotta give you props. How anybody other than Gary is pissed at you, I don't get. I think it's the greatest thing ever. When you came in there, I'm like, isn't Jason and Gary, aren't they really close?
Really close.
It's you've become Southern John, sort of, but even more irritating because someone said.
Is that a compliment?
Smirk you have? I think that calls it up.
Can I address the smirk for a minute? And you know this, Will. You know me better than anybody in this room.
By the way, for some reason, I take that as a Jew comment coming from Scott DePace.
Oh, yeah. He's anti-Semitic.
Oh, with your big nose, your beady eyes, and your smirk.
I smile when I get...
Your little devil horns.
And your horns.
I smile. That's why I want the hat.
Yeah, I was going to say, be honest.
Hide the horns.
Hide the horns. They're growing in my old age here. I smile when I get nervous. That's my defense mechanism. When I get nervous or upset, I actually smile. I don't grimace. So I was nervous with Gary on the wrap-up show. Absolutely. And it's a very good friend of mine. It's somebody who I owe a lot of my career to. I love Gary. Beyond words. That doesn't mean I feel like I should apologize for what happened the other day. In fact, let's just get right into that.
Yeah, we got to get into number 2.
Go into the number 2 state of the office.
On Wednesday, Gary Delabate went Bob ballistic on Jason after the Weasel informed Howard of Gary's closed-door argument with Howard TV.
I'm not screaming.
Well, it came out through the door because I got my headphones on and I hear, I'm not here to make enemies, man. And
why
then
did I move you down the fucking hallway then, Jason?
We don't have any offices down the hallway.
It's like Jason apparently doesn't. Forget it. So a closed door for your boss is meaningless.
Yes.
Later on Wrap-Up, Gary pleaded for privacy and accused Jason of not respecting him. Jason said he would stop throwing staffers under the bus if that's what Gary wanted. Where do things stand now? Is there any chance Jason will stop snitching? Does Jason respect Gary?
Does Jason respect Gary?
I respect Gary as a man. I respect Gary as a friend. And I respect Gary as a boss / coworker.
Last.
Really?
All equally.
Oh, all right.
All equally.
But, and there's some buts here. Gary and I had a long talk yesterday after the show, and we cleared the air. And of course, one of the first things he said to me was, my anger at you today is not about you putting up the note about the office. So let's just get that out of the way. I did not throw Gary under the bus. I did not break any sort of weird commandments. Gary was having a heated conversation behind closed doors, and I put up a note that said Gary's having an argument behind closed doors. Yeah, that's it. If that's crossing a line, then.
But you did it.
That's
the problem, as usual.
As usual. So it turned out that he was mad at me about something else, something I said the other day, and we had a long conversation in his office that will remain private, he asked, and I will concur, but I will say that it ended with us hugging and just shaking hands.
I keep that private, too.
Could he reach his arms all the way around you, or?
Gary has been an influence in my life from growing up listening to the show to coming to work here. He helped me get this job. He took me under his wing and he could have looked at me and said, fuck this guy. I don't want a new guy on the show and ignored me and let me sink or swim on my own. But he took me aside and he found a great vessel to put work onto and to give work to.
And 10 years later, you're
vessel as in battleship.
So I love Gary. I owe Gary. If Gary asked me I would do anything for Gary. I would do anything for Gary. But in this instance, he is wrong and a hypocrite to whine and cry on air that I should be giving him some sort of respect because he is the boss of the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Of which, it's only several hours a week here. And the rest of the time, he's not my boss, and he admitted it. He's like, I'm not the boss of you over the website. I'm not the boss of you over the Howard 101 show. I'm the boss of the Howard Stern show, which I totally respect and get.
No, there's a double standard for a lot of people here in that sense. I mean, even when, Scott, when Gary came down on Scott DePace for videotaping him in his office sleeping, again, I feel like if the roles had been reversed, Gary would have done the exact same thing, and he does similar things. You were talking about that yesterday.
Well, so Jim, maybe you know, is Tim Gary's boss? He doesn't know. Okay, so I don't know if Tim is Gary's boss. Let's just say they're on equal footing. Let's just say that. Tim is definitely my boss. Definitely 100%. The other day, Gary had me in his office. We were putting together a list of crazy Tim stories, some of which already got out on the air. Now, at no point did Gary say to me, whoa, Tim's your boss, man. You better show him some respect. You better back off. No, he was scribbling it, writing. What else do I know? What else do I want to say? He was adding his own stories in. He's going around the office collecting stories about Tim. Listen, that's all our boss. In a way, Tim's more my boss than Gary is.
No, when I think of the two executives involved in this show, it's Tim and Gary.
Yeah.
And so, absolutely.
And did he hesitate to run that list into Howard?
No.
Did he sit there and go, ooh, Tim's in a position of power here. Maybe I don't want to embarrass him like this.
He's been giving that list to Howard for like 3 weeks now.
Yeah. He's pushing it every break. Shitgate. When Shitgate happened with poor Tim.
Yeah, right.
Did anyone say to me, hey,
poor
Jason?
Tim, you mean poor bathroom.
Poor all of us.
Yeah.
Did anyone say to me, Jason, don't put stuff on the website because Tim's our boss and we don't want to embarrass him? Even Tim, who is very sensitive in his own right, he would complain, but he wouldn't say stop. He'd go, come on, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
Because your argument the other day made perfect sense. For the 4.5 hours the show is on the air, the entire compound is considered the studio.
It is a studio. It is a working, active, live studio with cameras and microphones. At 11 o'clock
or whatever. You said to Gary, if you were arguing at 3 p.m, I wouldn't tweet it, but if it's happening during the show, it's part of the show.
And I'll make up a hypothetical. I'm sorry to do this, but I don't have a real example to go off of. But if Tim and Ronnie were arguing on the air and they walked off the air and Tim goes, get the fuck in here now. And they went into a green room and slammed the door. Abso-fucking-lutely would Gary run at the Howard. He runs shit that happens in the hall to Howard all the time.
When I got attacked, I was arguing with Artie in the hallway during a commercial break.
Who told Howard?
I don't know, but it came out that we were fighting in the hallway.
No, Gary wants special treatment. To these moronic callers.
He wants special treatment, but I think he's open about that. He goes, I'm an executive here. I demand respect, and there are separate rules for me.
But then when I said, okay, do you want me, if I have something about you, should I go to you before I go to Howard? Yeah. And he said no.
Right. He doesn't know what he wants. I think it was a bad day yesterday.
But this stuff goes back. No, it wasn't just a bad day yesterday because I was thinking about it last night. Gary, I think, is mad at me. I like going back months. I think it started with the sports jacket. I really do.
He's jealous.
I think he's upset. I think he's upset about it. I think that he's upset that Howard keeps using me as an example for Gary to dress better, which he finally started doing recently. But for 3 years ago, I bought this really nice winter coat and I used to throw it on the back of my chair. And Gary said, Jason, I have a hanger in my office. Feel free to hang it in my office. So for 2.5 years, I've been hanging my winter coat in his office. All of a sudden, this October, he comes out to me, he goes, first of all, he gets the Howard TV cameras, because he's Mr., keep everything quiet because he has a ton of respect for me. He brings the Howard TV cameras over and he goes, Jason, one of my pet peeves is that you hang your jacket in my office.
Get your tarp out of here, you fatty.
Somebody said this looked like the tarp that covered Gary's trampoline, which I thought was hilarious. So I'll repeat that. But, and he said, I don't want any, and so in front of the Howard TV cameras that he called over, he goes, I don't want you hanging your jacket in my office anymore, which I thought was weird. But I didn't question it.
In fairness to Gary, it does cover half the wall, right?
But what? His jacket's that much smaller?
Interesting point.
So, I don't know. I think Gary might have an issue with me. And
what do you think it is, though?
I don't know. Actually, I think you don't want to. Okay, you go ahead.
I think it is that pretty much what you were saying, that you somehow undermine his authority. There may be some jealousy there, that you have kind of taken this role as a producer or exactly, as an executive for the show, and that you are somehow challenging him or a competitor.
I was going to say that I think, and Will, we talked about this a little bit, but when Howard made the announcement that, I'm running the website now and, we're trying to improve it and make it, we have plans to make it bigger and better and bolder. And, I think Gary was a little miffed that, that went right to me and didn't go through him.
Yeah.
Do you think that?
I mean, probably to a certain degree. I think Gary might be slightly paranoid. If you look at the relationships around here, Gary is still Howard's go-to guy.
Absolutely.
He is the guy that he looks to for any kind of question. We all, like you said, we feed everything through Gary, and I I think he's just being a little paranoid, maybe a little sensitive to the whole thing.
And I agree. And, I had made a comment on the air about the hours that Gary works, and he asked me not to talk about, but my point, one of my points to that was, I like having Gary here in the office. When he's in the office, he's the boss. He's the guy I bring everything to. He's the guy I filter everything through. When he's not here, I'm the boss, I guess. I don't know. I mean, at least when it's non-Howard Stern show
about
related.
me, man?
You and me.
You're the boss of you? Or?
I'm the boss of, I deal with Tim, I deal with Jim, I deal with, Will and Aragon, who, by the way, really pulls all the puppet strings back here. I don't know if everyone's aware of that.
Fucking Al, man.
It is a weird thing. How is it? Oh, yeah. So, sorry, I'm just looking at my notes right now. So again, going off yesterday. And
Teddy doesn't have that problem, by the way.
What's that? Looking at notes?
No, yeah, I see you're busy texting over there.
I'm taking pictures. Anyway,
don't worry, your dealer can wait till after the show. I promise.
and I'll just leave it at
so
this.
Can I put Gary on the list of Jason fights?
Absolutely.
Oh,
we got
okay,
to fight.
Good, yeah.
Hey,
So it's pretty much everybody that's ever worked here now.
Do you and I ever fight?
No.
I think we're both. You know what's so weird? And you guys,
because I'm smarter than you.
You guys all correct me if I'm wrong. And forget my on-air Jason. Where I'm trying to be interesting, but I consider myself one of the nicest guys in the office. Like, overall, one of the nicest people in the office.
Interesting theory.
Yeah, someone who's, you're the sweetest, nicest guy here who we wouldn't trust, like, with an inch of anything. It's fine. I love you to death, but yeah, I will never tell you anything in confidence.
What I've always said to you is, if you're on your good side, you're great. And I guess this applies to Millman. I think I use this with Tracy Millman too. If you're on your good side, it's a great place to be. If you're on your bad side, it's awful. Yeah. It's the last place you want to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that may mean people are somewhat scared of you or scared to be honest with you all the time.
Well, you and I have...
I don't feel that way personally.
I know, but you and I have had our moments. Is it easy to get on my bad side?
No.
Okay, so...
Oh, Jimmy's saying yes over there.
Is he, Jimmy? What do you think?
Come on, Jimmy.
Get on there.
Pipe up, buddy.
I think that not a problem, but the thing about you, Jason, is that when you get ammunition on somebody, it may not be ammunition today, but if I were to tell you something in confidence, I have 100% belief that 2 years from now, if you needed a bullet at me for something, you would pull that up and say, yeah, well, that's 2 years ago when you killed that guy. Like,
I think that's a lot of people around here, though. I got a report of a guy, and I'm not going to say who it is, but somebody that works here, that supposedly saves his IM conversations with people. So that he can use that later.
I know that guy, and he 100% saves his IM conversations.
And that kind of shit scares me. That's like, I mean, come on, dude.
I actually feel bad that Jim says that because, again, and I have nothing to go off but people's memories and everything, but even when I'm furious at somebody, I don't believe I've ever said something that they've told me in private not to say on the air. Even when I was with Gary yesterday. I mean, the stuff I know about Gary, good and bad, I was mad at him yesterday. I could have thrown a ton of shit out.
Here's where you get in that gray area, though, because it almost, when you close your door to your office, I mean, aren't you kind of saying, look, this is for off the air?
But you're in the on-air studio. I'm sorry.
Jason.
Oh. No, I don't.
So where can he go?
I don't know, but where can I go?
I mean, I bet, are you saying if he had said to you, hey, Jason, this is a private conversation I'm about to have with Doug. I don't want it talked about on the air.
I think if Gary says to me, Jason, when my door's closed, I don't care if you hear me screaming bloody murder in there. Don't report it to anybody.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't. He's my boss.
So what? So did he say that from now on? Or?
No, he did not say that from now on. The credit to him, he did not say that.
Well, he should, yeah.
But things that happen, there's another, guys and girls walk back there all the time when the show is on, and that is a lie. We have a reason. You're not allowed back in our office unless you sign a release. Period. End of story. Because everything back there is for air.
So you're saying once you enter the compound, everything is fair game?
Especially while the show is on.
Nothing is off limits.
During those 4.5, 5 hours.
Don't put you.
I agree with you.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not that nothing's off limits. We have stuff we talk about all the time. Somehow I'm able to keep my shit down.
Vegetables are off limits for you.
Vegetables are always off limits. Speaking of, let's take some phone callers. Rob in Texas, welcome to Back Office Radio. Rob in Texas.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey Jason, I'm the one that called right before the end of the year about the things I want to disappear on the Mayan calendar, and I said you and Eric the Midget.
Yeah.
Oh, that sweet guy. Yes.
Hey, let me say, since the guys have watched Pharrell and other stuff, the programming, like I got to listen to the replay of the Dr. Fish show. I think that's his name with Shirley, and it's just getting better with you guys. The Back Office, the John Hine show. The Dr. Fish show, Live at 5. I mean, just the stuff going on now seems to be a lot better. And I wasn't sure if you guys knew that too.
Absolutely. I listened to the Dr. Harry Fish show last night. I thought it was excellent. I'm a huge Loveline fan, and basically they're recreating Love Lines with him and Shuli, and I love it. And I
heard you getting berated on the what's it called, Straight Guys show?
Dealing Straight.
Which,
you know, it reminded me.
That was awesome.
The way those two guys talk, it reminded me a little bit of Car Talk. I don't know if anyone ever listened to Car Talk on NPR, but I used to love that show. And there's these two, you know, big, like, guys that look like they walked out of Extras in The Sopranos, like just sitting there, hey, you can't talk about smoking weed on the air.
I mean, they were lecturing you like you were a drug mule or something.
Yeah, I know, and they were scaring the shit out of me about it.
They shouldn't. I wanted to call in and say, shut the fuck up.
All right, we're going to take another call here. Rob in New Hampshire. Welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, guys. Hey, I need to know why, look, how come you start half of all your sentences with the word look? And also, listen, why do you...
Wait, hold on.
No, look. You know the answer is, I don't know. I don't know. It's a bad affect and, or a bad, I don't know what you call it.
What should we do, sir? Should we
got something else?
Should we execute Jason?
Listen, just find something else. And also, I wanted to please stop mentioning that guy Albert because he's way.
How about we go with the fact of the matter is?
The fact of the matter is
an old Howard classic.
The fact of the matter is, coming up, we're going to have our douche of the week nominees, and
look.
I think that's it.
Look, what else we got?
Look, and
that's all we have.
Look,
around, okay?
I'm going to look up Gary's Blazer game during the break. Stay tuned to Back Office Radio only on Howard 101.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. The show everyone loves until they're on it. Back Office Radio with Will and Jason.
Back Office Radio, the show that makes people's pussies hurt.
Oh, my pussy hurts.
Hey, this is Andrew from Canada. Just want to let you know you guys are all awesome, except for Will. You're a piece of shit. Thanks. Bye.
It's Back Office Radio, motherfucker!
You don't listen to Back Office Radio? Then fuck you.
Lisa G, you suck.
Back Office Radio, a show about nothing, hosted by two guys that look like Laurel and Hardy and their douchebag sidekick that beats his wife. Petty, you're a bitch.
Steve Brandano, get your tissues. It's time for Back Office Radio.
Hey, Jason. I called you a couple weeks back to your Back Office Radio. I know you're probably going to make fun of this, but I left a pretty harsh message telling you to kill yourself and all that at the end. You played it, and that kind of showed me you got balls. I think you're a pretty good guy, man. I don't know. I just feel I owe you an apology. All right?
Hey, this is Craig from Holbrook. You're listening to a fat Jew and a gay Phillies fan on Back Office Radio.
You're listening to a room full of current somebodies and also a room full of future nobody. You're listening to Back Office Radio.
Hey, you're listening to Back Office Radio with Spaghetti and Meatball, a.k.a. Will and Jason. You fat ass Jason.
Petty, you're a bitch.
Will, you're a fucking pussy, crying over one kid and you're tired after work. I'm a truck driver who works 13 hours a night. I've got 3 kids, and I still find time to play with my kids and not bitch about it. Man up, you pussy.
Jason Kaplan's 12 Days of Christmas. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 hours of airtime, 11 king-size Snickers, 10 strips of bacon, 90-inch TV, 8 sexy porn sites, 7 hotel lotions, 6 plates of poutine, 5 Whoppers with cheese, 4 faggy cachos, 3 pod brownies, 2 rolls of Tums, and a year's supply of Lexapro. I know he's Jewish, but I can't do much with dreidel.
I love that. I love that. Speaking of the holidays, we are, of course, broadcasting from the Catholic channel. Again, believe it or not, the Catholic channel is pretty much the only studio that lets us in. And Teddy, why don't you lead us off with a little hymn or something?
Father Ted B.
Father Ted.
The Lord God will destroy death forever. He will wipe away the tears from every cheek. Back Office Radio.
The Lord should go find Gary. Hey, if you like, we were just listening to some voicemails, and if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, 347-781-4335. Again, that number is 347-781-4335. And, Will, last time we asked for people to leave us bumpers, which I thought were hilarious, especially the one about hosted by current somebodies and future nobodies.
That's the best one.
That's the best one. And but I love that song at the end there too. What do you think we should ask for this week, if anything?
I like the one with Jason's laugh. I think you should leave your best Jason laugh impression.
How about best Jason laugh? Or if you don't do that, you have something for Teddy or Will that you can imitate.
Impersonations. Yeah,
impersonations. If you want to do an Al, I could do an Al. Check this out. That's Al right there on the air. That's my impression of Al.
Here's my impression of Ted. Good stuff here.
my impression of Ted.
Thanks, Will.
What? Wait. Huh? What'd you guys say? Of course, if you'd like to call the show, it's 888-STERN-101. Thanks for listening. We're getting some nice tweets.
Here's my impression of Jason. Do you hear me getting fatter?
Hold on, listen. You can hear it.
If you have to ask.
Do you hear me getting fatter?
Wait. Okay. Hold on. There he is.
Oh, I'm so hungry. Vivian on Twitter says, oh my God, Jason is on fire on Back Office Radio. Love this show. Jason is great. Steve Snow says, Gary is douche of the week. No question. No closed doors in the studio. Carmelina on Twitter says, I nominate Jason for douchebag of the week. You were wrong about Gary. Travis, wrote right to Howard and said, time to change the dial. Back Office Radio is on. Very nice. Thank you.
Very nice of him.
Thank you.
By the way, Scott the Pace just texted me. He wants everyone to know he is not an anti-Semite. Okay?
Oh.
He hates you because you're fat, not because
Ask
you're
him,
Jewish.
Well, what about the time when he turned to me and said, hey, you're a textbook Jew, right?
That doesn't mean he hates you. It just means you got the horns.
Jews. Yeah, no, Jews.
You think
Don't fucking blows.
Do you think he's shooting par, or is he? It sounds like he's a couple shots over right now.
Yeah, by the way, this all of us working hard never seems to spill over the Howard TV somehow.
No comment.
That means Will has lots of comments. Let's start. We're going to get into a douche of the week, and I did find the Blazer game. Let's take some calls. There's been some people who are on hold for a while here. Brian in Campbell, California. Welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey now. Hey, is Little Mermaid 78 there?
That's Merman, sir.
Okay, listen, I want to nominate Ralph Sorella and any other loser Stern fan that allows themselves to be called a geek timer.
Is that what he does?
He laughs like Ralph.
Geek timers. Yeah, we have our own lingo back there. And Scott, and what, do you not like that? I like it.
We're waiting to the douche of the week nominees before we get into all that.
Scott in L.A., welcome to Back Office Radio.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about what's happening with the intern show. I know it's not on the schedule. Is it over? Or?
No. The intern show, what part of the changes we're talking around here are we're reconfiguring the schedule. Tim and Jim and all the guys are back there, I don't know, schedule masters. Jim, do we know when the next intern show is scheduled for? Very soon, but it is most definitely not canceled, despite Steve Brandano lobbying hard to get rid of it. Shannon in Connecticut, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, man.
I wanted to say something about Gary and then defend Jason. I think Gary's obviously is embarrassed by the fact that he was caught doing something he didn't like to be doing. And he's trying to get, he wants respect because he's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get respect by being the boss or having a position. You get respect by earning respect.
That's an excellent point.
He's fighting this fine line of, do I want to be people's friends or do I want to be the boss? And he thinks he has to crack the whip to be the boss. That's not the case. The case is with Gary is he just has to have clear, concise rules that you guys understand and can follow. And when he does that, and then people do things that he doesn't like, he can call them on it, and he could even fire them for it. But he can still do that and be everyone's friend. What you did, Jason, was you did what everyone's doing on the show all the time, putting up notes when something funny's happening that you think will be fodder for the show.
Yeah, God forbid.
And you apologize. Well, you said you would apologize if he asked, if he wanted you to. You didn't feel you had to, and I agree with you. But you also said, I'll never do it again if you just tell me what are the rules. And he can't define rules because he thinks he'll lose friends. That's what I think.
And just to go further to that point, let me just give you a little back office of what just happened here while I was on while you were on the air with us. So you said Gary has to earn respect. Will shook his head up and down, yes. I actually said out loud, yes. And then Jim went, whoa, just be careful. So you can see that. Are you mad at me now, Will?
No, I'm not mad, but I agree with Jim to a certain degree.
Why? You
Why
felt
what?
it. You felt it.
Yeah, but okay, I feel lots of fucking things I don't talk about on the show.
Just trying to be honest here. Speaking of, before we just beat up on Gary too much, I do have the Blazer game if you want to play. I have it here.
Okay,
I'm going to throw out a celebrity. You tell me if Gary wore...
If they were
Blazer
worthy or not.
Okay. I'm going to start with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, that's a definite Blazer.
Blazer.
How are you playing? No? Okay, it was a Blazer. Ding, ding. Can we find some sort of ding, ding?
Or the horn.
Thank you. Okay. You know Gary loves producers. What about Jason Raff from America's Got Talent?
Yes.
No
He's looking
Blazer.
for his next gig. Absolutely.
No Blazer.
Teddy's right. No Blazer.
Yeah,
no.
baby.
You might be a little too comfortable with Jason
Finally
Raff.
something you're good at.
How about as long as we're on producers and network guys, what about Warren Littlefield? The former head
Yes. Absolutely.
No Blazer.
NBC executive. From executive to executive.
The answer is yes, he did wear a blazer.
Yes.
What about, let me scroll down the list here. Woody Harrelson.
He's kind of casual.
Yeah. No, he'd come off like a square too much, so I'm going to go no.
Teddy?
I'll say he did wear it. He donned it.
The answer is he donned the jacket for Woody Harrelson.
Fuck you, Teddy.
I'm so good at this.
Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler, big TV talk show host from E!
Blazer. Blazer.
She's a girl too. Maybe that makes a
Blazer.
difference.
Blazer, yeah.
It is Blazer.
Yep. That's a show like he would want to produce after Howard.
Okay, what about, Gary's a big music guy, Richie Sambora. Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi.
No Blazer.
No Blazer.
You are correct. No Blazer for Richie. Richie is not Blazer worthy. What about Brandon Reig from NBC? He's a big shot over at NBC.
I don't even know who that is.
He
Blazer.
sat in the studio the whole time. He runs all reality programming for NBC.
Oh, yeah, but he wasn't a real guest.
But he sat in the studio. Gary went and talked to him in the green room.
The fact that he's on your fucking list means he was wearing a blazer.
Blazer.
He was not wearing a blazer.
How'd you pull that name out there?
Because I thought when Brandon Reig was up here, I thought my head, Gary's definitely throwing his blazer on. This is a big to-do guy at NBC, and he didn't do it. Now here is where we fall into, you guys don't have to guess because this is weird. Adam Levine from Maroon 5.
Rock and roll. No Blazer.
No Blazer?
No blazer to start, but then he put one on later when he was talking to them.
Interesting.
When he started singing one of those cool Maroon 5 songs,
maybe
he
the
had to
air
step it
conditioning
up.
was really high that day.
Same with Tiffany Amber Thiessen. He went in and talked to her without blazer, and then when he brought her into the studio, he put the blazer on.
Well, yeah, he's on camera.
He
That makes sense.
donned
Well,
the
no,
blazer.
it doesn't make sense, Will, because the blazer is supposed to be professional on and off when you're going to talk to the...
Gary's like a mullet. He's professional up front and party in the back.
Business
you know what I
up
mean?
front, party in the rear.
I like that. Okay, I'm gonna just I'm just gonna go do two more here. Tom Arnold, and not Tom Arnold was just on. I'm talking about Tom Arnold's previous appearance because Gary's wearing a blazer every day now.
No Blazer.
Teddy says no.
I wouldn't even wear a shirt for Tom Arnold. So,
well, Gary must think he's a big deal because he was blazer worthy.
All right,
and last one, our good buddy. How about we'll go for Perez Hilton? Perez Hilton, who writes such lovely things about Howard on his website.
I'm going to say
He's a very powerful
Blazer.
blogger.
No Blazer. No Blazer.
Very powerful blogger.
No Blazer.
no blazer, and he kept his back to the wall the entire time.
No blazer. Perez, you are not blazer worthy. Feel free to write that up on your website.
This is a
not
fun game.
blazer worthy. You liked it?
Yeah.
Gotta keep it going.
I'd love to. I think I ran out of names
The
here.
listeners can play the try it
No,
at
I
home
mean, not
version.
today. Yeah.
But he wears the blazer every day now.
I know.
All day. Cyndi Lauper?
No Blazer. No Blazer.
No blazer.
Yes to the blazer.
Fuck.
Tony Saragusa?
Yes, blazer.
No Blazer.
Yes to the blazer. A man everybody wants to show immense respect to. One Mr. Chuck Zito.
No Blazer.
No blazer.
No blazer, Chuck.
Yes.
I think you're blazer worthy, buddy. I saw you the other
Apparently
day. I
Gary
had the
does
blazer.
not.
No, Gary does not think you are blazer
no
worthy.
respect, huh?
Roast master Jeffrey Ross.
Jeffrey Ross.
No Blazer.
No, comedy guy. No.
Yeah, it's loose.
That's right. Gary was showing how hip and cool he was by not wearing a blazer. And finally, just because I love saying
One more.
I love saying her name. Kelsey, the girl with the big boobs.
Oh, the
Blazer. Yeah, you got to show off, make yourself look important.
Yeah, sorry?
He wanted to look impressive. I'm going to go with yes.
He obviously didn't care about looking impressive because the answer's no blazer. Although, Kelsey, you can wear my blazer anytime.
Your whole family.
I was going to say, you guys have the same size tits.
I was going to say, I think she might actually fit in because her tits might be bigger than my stomach.
Finally.
We
found one.
Mine's on the bottom, hers are on top.
Gross. Oh my God, gross.
You're listening to Back Office Radio. Give us a call, 888-STERN-101. And guys, let's nominate our douche of the week.
Douche of the week.
Who wants to go first?
I am.
All right.
Face. My douche of the week this week is an obvious one because we weren't on the air last week, were we, Will?
No, we were not.
And whose fault is that?
Tubby over here.
Our very own Grimace had to go to Vegas to fulfill his electronic things I can't afford needs. So I hope you had fun geeking out over, what was that TV that had 4 different fucking screens
Oh
or
my
something?
God, it's one TV.
Yeah, whatever, we don't care. You are my
douche of the week.
Fair enough.
I am going to second Teddy's motion and say, yes, you have clearly made a point of showing that Geek Time is more of a priority than Back Office Radio. In fact, yesterday, when we were having a staff meeting about Back Office Radio, and we're trying to get together what we're going to talk about, all you talked about is fucking Geek Time.
Well, we were talking about...
You got a one-track mind.
How much you love it.
We were talking about the Vegas stuff that we're going to talk about on the show.
Sophie's Choice. Geek Time, Back Office Radio.
Go.
Back Office Radio.
Oh, bullshit.
Really?
Yeah, I
Peer
host it.
pressure.
Wow.
It's peer pressure.
I love Geek Time.
Al's not buying it.
No?
Yeah, Al's not buying it. He knows it.
Let's bring it up in the writing meeting. Make me choose between one or the other.
I like that.
Okay, Back Office Radio or lunch?
You guys are much easier to work with. Oh, lunch, dude. Come on. What are we talking about here?
Good point.
You guys are much easier to work with than Ralph. I get to host this show. I don't
Well,
get
that's
to host
the point.
Geek
That's
Time.
what I wanted to say. You know, Ralph is such a pain in the ass.
And we had so much stuff to talk about last week. I don't remember any of it.
You just come in here and basically bullshit, and you chose them. You chose the enemy. Not the enemy.
I've been working on Geek Time for 3.5 years. This was a big show that we were going out to Vegas for. It had been
we get it.
in the plans for a month. But okay, I take it. Douche of the week.
So we shouldn't tell them about that offer for Back Office Radio then. They want us to, host a Super Bowl party, but never mind, you're not invited.
Well, I heard Lisa G, who hates the show, immediately went to you when she found. I heard she went to you at the writing meeting and said, "I'll co-host.
We should co-host.
We should do it together."
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Sandpaper my balls, please.
Hey, I want to name a douche of the week, but Jim, I can't remember the guy's name. I'm gonna have to find it out in a second here. I had a douche. I had to change it. Hold on, I'll find it. Oh no, because Jim has 500 email addresses. I can never find. Okay, I'm gonna name a guy. The audience doesn't know him. I don't know who he is, but I had a run-in with him last night. He is... Oh, you know this guy?
I don't know.
Raw Dog host David Webb.
Oh, yeah. He's not Raw Dog. He's a conservative Patriot channel.
Oh, no wonder he's a dick.
Patriot.
We're doing Superfan Roundtable last night with Al. Al's on the board. I'm back there producing. And this dude just barges into the studio, looks at us and goes, "You guys better move the something before you guys leave." I was like, "Excuse me? Hello, my name is Jason. Hello?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Those things in there." Al, get on the mic for this. I need you to back me up so I don't sound like a lunatic.
What was it? What do you mean, banners?
The studio bass traps that we put in the corners of the rooms.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We use ours, we put them in between the seats so that people don't get picked up on each other's mics.
Yeah, that's great.
So he goes...
They weigh like an ounce each,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, they weigh an ounce. It takes literally a half a second to move them. And so while I'm just confused, just staring at this guy, and he starts telling us how he's been in radio for 30 years, and he shouldn't have to fucking come in
That's
here.
what he said to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And he shouldn't have to come in here and move things.
Really?
You got the talent bug, you know?
And meanwhile, our live show is on. I'm trying to listen. Al is trying to listen. And we got this. And so it took every ounce that I have, and I have a lot of ounces.
Plenty.
To not get in a fight, get in a verbal fight with this guy.
Why didn't you slay him right then and there and have the news recorded?
I didn't know who he was. I already had a rough day with that sort of stuff. The last thing I needed is some guy to go to Scott Greenstein and go, "Man, all I did was go ask him to move something."
I don't think he has any clout here.
He's the guy everybody walks away from.
Yeah.
You walk through the lobby.
Well, guess what? David Webb, you're a fucking douchebag. You're the douche of the week. Al, you want to nominate him as douche of the week?
Absolutely, I'll second that.
David Webb, you are
douche of the week.
And if you talk to me like that again, I'm not going to be so nice.
He was always on the chatter, and he was the Tea Party guy.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be this hardcore Tea Party guy. And then we bring up all these ideas that the Tea Party had that were ridiculous. That I think they wanted to take any reference to slavery out of the history books. And you go, "Yeah, that's a retarded idea. I don't understand why anyone would want to do that." We go, "We're having you in because you're the Tea Party guy. You're not funny. You're not that talented. At least be controversial."
Look, the guy's been in radio for 30 years, and he's sharing a studio with Mutt.
Voice
what does
is
that
terrible,
say?
too. He's got the worst
And he
voice.
doesn't move bass drums or whatever the fuck they're called.
Anyway.
Coming up, we have to go get Steve Brandano. We have to do this Dave Matthews game, and Steve should be in here while I tell some stories from Vegas.
The audience is clamoring for that game.
The audience, but Will, and you've noticed this as well, although I noticed it mostly.
This is more than you, but I'll.
Steve seems to be very angry lately.
I know.
Very angry.
Another Brandano confrontation coming.
He was very angry in Vegas, and not at me. I had a great time with him. I love him, but I just see this anger coming out. We'll talk about it, and we'll find out what's making him so angry when we come back on Back Office Radio, only on Howard 101.
You're listening to Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Picking up the slack for Jason's pot dealer. It's Back Office Radio with Will and Jason.
Welcome back to Back Office Radio here on Howard 101. Give us a call, 888-STERN-101. That's 888-783-7610. There's so many people waiting on hold for such a long time. Let's go to some calls. Dan in Philly, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Thank you, Jason, for picking up my call. I just wanted to tell you I love Back Office Radio. You guys are my heroes, especially you, Jason.
Thanks.
I love Dan. I don't care what anybody says, about you. Man, you bring to the Stern Show and Back Office Radio what everybody wants in the show.
Awesome, man. That's what we try. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to hang up on you. Awesome.
He was about to say something nice about me, jerk off.
Oh, well, then I definitely meant to hang up on him. Thank you. That's what we try and do every week here. JT in Toronto, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, guys. What's going on? Love the show.
Thank you. Look, thank you.
Sorry, well, I've got nothing nice to say to you. I did want to mention to Jason, though, I've just started TM.
Oh, good for you.
I haven't exactly quit yet. I'm wondering now, in your sober life, how exactly has that changed the meditation? Have you found any difference?
No, I found no difference with the meditation, except that I now have more time to meditate because I don't like to meditate right after I smoked, obviously. But I was actually telling Will in the office this morning because he was shocked that I'm not having more of an adverse reaction to not smoking. And I think the meditation is actually helping me cope with it, not hurting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, good.
I love it. It's only been a week for me, and I notice already a huge difference in just my attitude in general and the way I feel. So,
dude, wait for 3 months. Wait for 3 months. I'm telling you, stick with it. All right.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
You'll gain 30 pounds in no time, I promise.
Thank you for that. We do have a special guest joining us in studio. It is Steve
What is
Brandano.
Steve? B-list? B-list by Stern Show standards?
Well, what are we?
Or Back Office Radio?
I got to be honest.
That's a good point. We're probably B-list.
Because, and Steve, this isn't a knock at you. I'm just saying this is what happened. When we were at CES, it was definitely notice Jason first, notice Steve second.
Well, you're three times his size.
Everybody, it wasn't his size though. Everybody turned around and goes, "Oh, there's that voice!"
Yeah.
It was his voice.
They knew the voice.
But I also went out to eat with Jim, Gary, and John Hine, and you guys didn't either. So I don't know if that plays into it at all.
Well, we were spending Tim's money at the steakhouse. I don't know what you were doing.
I didn't pay. I'll tell you that.
I didn't either. So let's talk a little bit about Vegas. I mean, I thought it was a great trip. I had a lot of fun out in CES. But Steve, and if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But
you're wrong. But okay, go ahead.
You seem to be a little edgy, not towards me. We had a great time, but
what's the dealer that took my money?
Let's talk. Well, actually, the first thing that happened was we were walking around CES for about 30 minutes, and somebody comes up and they pat me on the shoulder and go, "Jason, love Back Office Radio."
Took a picture with you.
Took a picture with me, and then as he's walking away, he goes, "Fuck Steve," or "Don't listen to fuck."
No, he didn't say fuck Steve.
What did he say?
Classic, let's blow it way up. He goes, "Sorry, Steve," and walked away. Because he complimented Back Office Radio.
No, he said,
"Sorry, Brandano."
You were furious at him, and you said,
I was not furious again.
You're thinking of the wrong person then.
You're
thinking of the wrong person then.
So I probably laughed.
No, Steve.
Okay, tell me.
Just relax for a second.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fan that came up and said, "I love Back Office Radio, and don't listen to what fucking Steve says." And you turned around and go, "If I could, I would throw that motherfucker out the window."
Yeah, okay. So this is perfect. This is exactly never mind.
I think there's a 3-man.
Did that happen? Am I making that up?
I did absolutely turn to Jason when that guy was away and go, "Sometimes you wish that you could throw these guys out the window, but it's nice to be noticed." Yes, I did say that to you.
Okay, so let's go to the dealer story.
And I forget that I can't say anything to you.
Jason, I think there might be a 3-page email in your future.
Isn't that bad of a story, Steve?
No, but you say it no. Okay, it's okay. Fine,
okay,
go
so
ahead.
let's go to the dealer, because this is when I really noticed it. So Steve and John were playing this game, 4 Poker Wild, something like that. And what's it called, Steve?
It was just like Crazy Fours.
Crazy Four Poker.
You get 5 cards and you play your best 4.
And Steve was kicking ass in the game, and he was playing with John in a different casino, and then comes back and he's raving about this game, and it's easy, and he made money, and John's making money. So we went over to the table, me, Ralph, and Steve, and we sat down, and the dealer, this lady, was ball busting pretty decent. And I like all busting. I like talking back and forth with the dealer because otherwise I get bored. I mean, it's not like we were talking to each other that much. We were all busy with our game. So, I enjoy it. So it's sitting down. It's me.
I was actually teaching Ralph how to play.
Me, Ralph, and Steve. You were teaching me how to play as well.
Right. I was teaching the 3 guys that I brought to this table how to play. Okay, continue.
Very instructive as we're playing. Steve's winning. At some point, the lady starts to bust with Steve a little bit. So she starts looking at his cards before she puts them down, which, doesn't affect the game at all, but it might affect luck.
You got any thoughts on that, Will?
I'm listening to the full story before I
Wait, that wouldn't bother
opinions.
you? That wouldn't bother you at all?
I don't know. I don't know how, the temperament at the table, if everyone's kind of busting balls and having fun.
She was busting balls. I was enjoying it.
Should have told her to fuck off. Don't touch my cards, you twat.
I think I did. But.
So then Steve started to lose, wasn't winning as much as he was. So he was getting cranky. And then.
It was 4 in the morning.
It was,
3 in the morning.
But then, so it was funny. So he goes, all right, I'm going to go to the bathroom. So he takes his drink and all of his chips and he starts walking away from the table. And the lady's like, what, you don't trust your friends? You're not going to leave your money in front of your friends or something like that? So he goes and he leaves.
What is she, like the Rodney Dangerfield
exactly.
of dealers?
Thank you.
So he puts the money down. He starts walking away again. She's like, why are you taking your drink to the bathroom? Who takes their drink to the bathroom?
Me, you stupid bitch.
And then Steve was
talk like that.
ignoring her and he keeps walking away and she's like, don't forget to wash your hands. Don't forget to wash your hands.
Shit. I would have slapped that bitch with my penis.
Exactly, Will. Thank you.
So, since Steve was sitting next to Ralph, since Steve was gone now, the hand that Ralph would have gotten the hand that Steve would have gotten went to Ralph. The lady looks at it. It was like a flush. She puts it down. She won't even let Ralph look at the card. She goes, just triple down your bet, trust me. Because you're only playing against the dealer. It doesn't matter. So the hand is so good that she decides to do a slowdown. She wants to wait for Steve to come back so she can reveal the hand in front of him.
How long is that going to take?
I don't know, but she starts counting the chips. Exactly. It was only us at the table. So she said this. This wasn't my idea. And I'm laughing. I'm like, that's such a great idea. Ralph is laughing. She does a slowdown with the chips. She's counting them. She's counting the cards. She's shuffling. Steve finally comes back and she does the reveal. And Steve is like, I don't care. But you were
Thank you for at least saying that.
Yeah. You didn't. You were just like, whatever.
Exactly.
But
doing all I could to not call her a C word.
I was having fun. I was surprised you weren't having fun.
Well, this is when I started losing, Jason.
Well, I was losing.
Okay, yeah,
she was
I know.
A cooler, man.
You didn't. She absolutely was, and she was effing with me. And if it was you, me, and John Hine at the table, and this was happening to one of you guys, you would have acted one way, probably would have involved some harsh language and maybe some spilling of beer, and John would have gone nuts. I mean, John would have walked away and given, I don't know, evil eyes or whatever John does when he's pissed. But instead, all I can rely on is Ralph, who's listening to me about learning the game, and Jason, who's laughing hysterically about it because he's a fucking asshole.
All right.
So you tell me how anybody else would have acted.
I think I have a list of more angry Steve moments, but I'm going to stop because he got mad at when I said.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
So we went out to eat. And Steve and I both got
Didn't you just eat?
No, this is a different time. This is actually our first meal in Vegas. And Steve and I both got the same burger. And it was like a Mexican style burger. So it comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with an egg and a huge avocado.
Yeah, you're right about this one.
I thought you said it was an avocado egg burger.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what it was.
A Baja burger.
Hold the avocado, hold the egg.
It was a Baja burger, and I said, hold the avocado.
And the waiter goes,
I'll take the Baja burger, hold the Baja.
It had eggs, ham, and jalapenos on it. All those things I wanted on it. I didn't want an avocado.
So the waiter goes, why don't you just paint a mustache on the Mona Lisa? And oh my God.
And I said, I'll tell you exactly what I said and the way I said it. I said, it's funny. I was on the plane today, and I ordered a coffee, and this bitch waitress goes, or the bitch stewardess goes, oh, don't put Splenda in there. Don't ever put that in your body. I hate, and I'm talking to Ben Bardo, but out loud while the waiter's there. And I'm like, I hate when people are supposed to serve on you to suggest the way you should eat the stuff while the waiter was there. And F that guy.
Steve is angry. That's what I'm saying.
And again, it was like...
By the way, he is an artist.
It was
He'd love
like
to draw
midnight.
a mustache on the Mona Lisa.
It was like midnight and our first day
you want
there,
whiskers?
which means it was 3 a.m.
So we have a new segment, we want to call...
What's Eating Steve?
Steve's not impressed with that.
No. Steve, okay. What is eating you?
No, we're going to go around and guess.
Oh, we're going to guess. Okay.
What is unclear about this? What is unclear?
No, because he's saying it's a deeper thing. He's saying it goes into the office too.
But hold on. I know that's what he's saying. So Will,
Teddy was saying this the other day. Because Steve's been testing.
A bitch dealer.
I agree with you on that one.
Oh, and then a waiter told me what I should order. That's what I was upset about in both those instances. So if you want to play
Jason
a game,
says you overreacted.
Go ahead. Now guess all the awful. Now you guys can say a bunch of awful things that you think I'm pissed about, so you can say them, and then I'll tell you, no, I was upset at a bitch dealer and a bitch waiter. But go ahead.
Are you mad that you're known as the Black Keys guy on the Howard Stern show?
No, I think it's funny.
No, you hate it.
No. I hate it from the perspective of the Black Keys listen to the show. And I think that they're now, like, every time that I get mentioned, they're like, why the fuck do we have to hear about this guy every time? Because, again, they are way bigger than me, and they are way bigger than that, and it's insulting to them.
Most people are way bigger.
Will, do you have a theory?
No. We're just what's my theory? Have you gotten laid in a while?
No, I haven't.
Is it bothering you?
No. As you guys have documented on this show, I've had the opportunities to and have not done them because I was doing the right thing. Last year, I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to do the right thing all the time and see how that goes for me.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, this year my New Year's resolution is to ease up on that and start doing a couple of the wrong things.
Excellent. That's a great New
Teddy,
Year's
you have a
resolution.
guess?
No, actually, well, does it have anything to do with the intern show at all?
No, I'm happy that the intern show, I don't know when it's going to be on again, but it's going to be on more of a monthly basis than an every week basis. And I think that's going to be great for the intern show because we will have a lot of content instead of having to come up with content every week. So I'm excited about that, and I like
agree.
that.
And finally, last one on our list here, do you feel you get enough respect around here, both on air and off air?
I don't think anybody here gets respect. But no, I don't think, to lead into the Harry Nielsen game, I don't think I think a lot of times when I don't try to talk much or say, hey, I think this person would be good on the show a lot, or hey, I think you guys need to know this. And when I do, I feel like people don't care, or they don't, and this is not just Howard. Yes, Howard, but not just Howard. I feel like, so for instance, the Harry Nielsen thing, you brought that up in a meeting the day before Harry Nielsen came on. It says the first thing on it. Oh yeah, before Curtis Armstrong came on. Booger. You said, hey, in our meeting, hey, it says right here on his Wikipedia page, he's a big fan of Harry Nielsen. And then all the ideas start flowing. Now in that time, and Howard was up in the middle of the studio looking around, all I kept trying to say was, guys, he's more than a big fan. He wrote liner notes for several of the albums. That's way more than a big fan. So whatever we want to come up with, good, but you're not going to befool him with regular rock trivia. Every Harry Nielsen fan knows everybody's talking.
And so what happened?
And Coconut.
You said that and everyone ignored you, or?
I tried speaking it. Howard looked at me, turned around, and then afterwards I talked with Fred about it. I talked with Fred about that. And Fred said, oh, we should make some trivia questions. And it's like, okay, he's not going to get stumped by Coconut and everybody's talking. And what did we play for him? Coconut and everybody's talking.
He's a fucking Harry Nielsen expert.
Exactly.
What don't you people understand?
Bones in Vegas, you have a question for Steve?
I do have a question.
Go for it.
Steve, buddy, what's with that little giggle, man? What's with the little giggle that you busted out all of a sudden? It seems as though...
I don't notice this.
No, I do
Steve
have a weird laugh.
I picked up on it, too. I do it now all the time. It's kind of like my fake laugh.
Yeah, I do that, but it's not a fake laugh.
All right, so, Steve, you do not claim to be a Dave Matthews expert to the point where you will write liner notes.
Yeah, hold on. This is another thing. This is where you come, you say something, and then it's like, it's a fact. I said that Curtis Armstrong Booger wrote liner notes.
Yes.
So he's way more than a big fan of it. I said, I am just a fan of Harry Nielsen.
Right.
I could get all those things. Dave Matthews, I am not a guy that gets paid to write liner notes, but I'm a big fan of Dave Matthews. So if there's someone that knows more about Dave Matthews than me, and you did this test to, it's crazy. There's people that know more than me, and I could still do this with any Dave Matthews
Steve,
song.
I'm going to say something, and you tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You were not as impressed as everybody else was with Booger. Like, I was blown away.
Absolutely correct.
When he did the Harry Nielsen game, and you said, unless we went really obscure, you could do that game, Dave Matthews, and you're not even close to the expert on Dave Matthews.
That Curtis, absolutely correct.
So
absolutely correct.
Okay, so with that said, and actually, I don't have an answer sheet in front of me. Al, you're going to have to get a mic for this, or because I don't have an answer sheet in front of me.
Teddy fell asleep. You have the mic.
Teddy, you're going to have to look at the answers, okay?
Got it.
All right, so we are now going to play the Dave Matthews game. How this is going to work is Al is going to play a note of a song from Dave Matthews, and Steve is going to tell us what it is. Al? God damn it. That's way more than one note, Al. There's like 14 notes.
We put Teddy in charge of this game. No wonder it's fucked up.
What would you say?
Teddy, you said it would be so easy to do one note.
This is the easier way to do it.
Yeah, but can we do one note?
Boom.
I'll try to yell it out quicker, I guess, but...
No, one note.
What would you say? Too much.
Nope.
Wrong.
Oh, wait. Tripping Billy, sorry.
Correct.
All right.
Same album.
Al, don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't go in order. I think I pulled it off.
I can't hear it. Well, typical situation. I would have got it anyways. You guys are not going to get me with this game. You're just not.
Teddy, I'm gonna kill you.
Damn it, Teddy.
I wanted one note.
That's Crash. And that was one note. It's just a symbol. There's no way you guys are going to get me in this game. Can I get out of here now?
Steve's answers are angry.
Yeah. Because it's silly I have to do this.
I told you I know the answer to everything.
I told you, and no one listens to me.
We listen to you. We made this game
Jesus
for you.
fucking Christ.
Right, hold on. Don't play it until I point to you. Don't. Now. 2 notes.
The space between. You cannot quit me so quickly. See, it's easy. Can I get out of here? Or you want to pull up Harry Nielsen and I'll do it with his songs too. Oh my God, that's so impressive.
Wait, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
You said your New Year's resolution was to do everything right?
No, I said my New Year's resolution of last year was to do all good things, right? Do like, do in the
This
situation,
year?
do the right thing. That's what I've been doing for a year. Yes.
That was 2012.
What was it this year?
To start doing more bad things.
Nice.
No, I'm still going to be nice. I still have a conscience, but I'm not going to be as nice as I have been. Yes.
Some serious raping coming in Steve's future.
That's
Steve,
awful.
Can I say I am as impressed by you playing that game as I was by Booger playing the Harry Nielsen game? You might not think it's impressive, but I do.
I just want to beat.
What are you talking about? We didn't even play the game. He played like the whole song before Steve answered.
That was every day.
There's no way Steve can do it.
What do you mean? There's no way I can do it?
We played the whole song.
No, you just.
We got any more songs that we didn't go to, Al, yet?
Yep.
That's 2 notes.
That's really hard.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on. My guess, and I don't think this is right, but my guess would be Dreaming Tree, but that's... What was it, though?
American Baby.
Ah, fuck that album. That's Dave Matthews' worst song.
I love this song.
Yeah, now that's too. This is new too. This is after my time.
Get down, Will.
That's
Quiet. I'm tucking my balls and cock between my legs.
All right. Do it again.
Can you do it?
No, that's it.
No, do it again. I talked to him.
I don't know what that is. It must be
still
new.
Impressed, Jason.
It must be new.
No answer. Funny the way it is.
Yeah. Okay. Funny the way it is.
I knew this song.
No, you don't. There's no way you know this song. And by the way, that would be the first thing. But okay, yeah, this is from the newest, not the brand new album, but the newest album. Not when I was in high school, not when I was an expert. Of the first 5 albums. So there you go, you've got me. But there's
Do we have any more left
And
out?
by the way, what this is to Dave Matthews is what Spaceman or something way lower is to Harry Nielsen.
I think, Steve, you came down here and you proved a point. You are not an angry guy, and you have not been extra angry, and thank you for taking the time to come down and back off this.
Two things.
Do you think you've been angrier at all recently?
No.
Consistent behavior. All right.
No. I was angry in Vegas when I lost money. Like, that's not weird. Or when the waiter was a dick. Will, you would have been way angrier in both those situations.
Yeah, I'm an angry fuck.
And hey, to your callers, I'm going to pick Steve as douche of the week because he likes Dave Matthews Band. There, I beat you to it.
That is not angry. That is not angry Steve Brandano on Back Office Radio. Thank you. Make sure to catch him later on the John Hine TV show. I know it's over music. I'm sorry, Al. When we come back, well, we have so many Page 69s they don't even fit on the one page of my sheet here. We have 3 weeks of Page 69s built up. So give us a call, 888-STERN-101. You're listening to Back Office Radio only on Howard 101.
You're listening to Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. Getting to the bottom of Steve Brandano's anger. It's Back Office Radio with Will and Jason.
I'm afraid of his anger.
Thank you for saying that.
We didn't get to the bottom of anything, by the way.
I was kind of hiding around the corner.
I just love when he goes, I'm not angry. What are you talking about? I'm fine.
I just don't want to be on his bad side. I don't know.
By the way, hold on one second. Hey, Will, keep talking.
We locked one of our interns out of the studio here.
Wait a second. Hey, check this out. Hey, Howard TV guys. Very hard working, Steve. No, the handle fell off the door. Our door is broken. I think we're locked here in the studio.
Fuck, we're stuck in church.
Look at this. There's no
Al's
handle
gonna
on the
save
door.
us.
Al, can you fix the door?
Should we? Oh, he did.
It's because Brandano's like the Hulk. He just ripped the door right
I
off.
think Brandon. Thank you. I'm having a coffee.
So
brought
wait,
to
we're
me.
stuck in here again now?
I'm so professional. Thank you, Lindsay, the intern. Appreciate it. If you guys call 888-STERN-101, you can talk to Lindsay and get on the air with us, hopefully. Speaking of, let's take a couple real quick calls here. Steve in Pennsylvania, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Love the show.
Thank you.
I got to say that for a while, when you would hear Steve talking and with the show before you guys had Back Office and all this stuff, kind of didn't have much of an issue with him. But lately, he just seems to be a bit of a whiny bitch. But when he's saying about how he's talking really loud so the waiter will hear him, so he doesn't have the avocado, you know that waiter went back and told the cook, spit in it, drop it on the floor, drop a load in it, something. So I hope he enjoyed the special sauce that he had with the burger.
I hope that didn't I have to say, over the course of the meal, Steve was born to be right. I mean, the guy kind of was douchey. And you know what the worst part was? He was kind of douchey the entire time. And then when he brought the check, he was all apologetic. Hey, I'm sorry if, so I saw right through that bullshit. But in the very beginning, I thought
He was an asshole.
I was taken aback by Steve.
By the way, this guy does bring up a great tip. If you're gonna, be shitty to a waiter, wait till they give you your food. You know what I mean?
Do you ever see that movie Waiting? Oh my God.
They do that kind of
forget
shit?
it. Yeah. You don't want to watch that.
Anthony, Miami, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
Yo, Jason.
Yeah.
When you were smoking every day, did you ever get anxiety or anything like that?
Well, I've had anxiety my entire life, and extreme anxiety is one of the reasons I went on Lexapro to begin with, to battle my anxiety and depression. And sometimes, what?
I'm just wondering, where did our update go for you?
Oh, do we have it? Hey, Al, do you want to do an update?
Let's just do it real quick. Hit that. The update
weed
on
update,
the weed.
Yeah.
And now, a smoking update with Jason Kaplan.
There he is.
Listening to this song, I think I could go into the parts of my brain where I used to be high.
Dude, for this segment,
Cypress Hill Black Sunday was like
make
one
your
of the
eyes
best
small.
albums
Exactly.
ever.
Oh, that's how
There he
Jason
is.
normally is.
That's the old Jason we remember.
You can blindfold him with dental floss.
How many more days do you have left? 2 weeks?
Today is the 2 week mark.
Halfway
Today is the
there.
2 week mark. We are halfway there, and
I was thinking about it, by the way, because first week, what did we have? We had something big going on. It was like the Super Bowl, maybe, that weekend.
No, what?
It was some kind of party.
Yeah.
Anyway, next weekend after that, you're in Vegas, which has got to be brutal. This weekend, I think you're just sitting around, right? There's nothing going on.
well, actually, yeah, I'm a little bit more. Each weekend,
football.
you're right. Each weekend is something different. Last weekend we were out in Vegas. This weekend, which I was nervous about because Vegas is a big party time and everything. But this weekend, I'm facing now sitting around the house all weekend.
No, you got my party on Saturday if you want to come.
Oh, the party you didn't invite anybody to.
Yeah,
Nice.
anyway.
Although I'm going to my grandmother's Shiva on Sunday. So
how do you not smoke for that?
I know, right?
And then next weekend you have AC.
And then next weekend,
Are you going to AC?
I am going to AC.
To the block party?
We are playing poker in the poker tournament and staying at AC. And I want to play craps with you again. I had so much fun when we did that up in Canada.
We'll have fun.
You know, I saw Derek.
We're wife free now.
Derek from Canada came down to meet us in Vegas. He's crazy. I love him.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, he had some free trips. He had like miles and hotel vouchers and stuff. But he just came down by himself and hung with
It's
us all
fun
day.
now, but at what point does it get a little scary?
No, I don't think I could.
Oh, Derek, hi.
I don't think I could ever take money from him again.
Such
He's
dre-
legitimately a friend at
No,
this
he's a
point.
good guy.
We
He's your
hung out-
twin.
Yeah, he starts dressing like Jason.
Oh, we talked about food. We went out to eat at this place called the Burger Bar, and they bring you a dip sampler for the fries. So you could get a fry sampler and a dip sampler. You should have seen. We were picking and choosing our fries.
They rubbed it on each other's nipples and licked it off.
For dessert, you can have a Lipitor sampler.
They had like 20 different types of dipping, and they bring it out on you ever get a beer sampler where they bring it out on that wooden plank?
Yeah.
Well, they do that with the dipping sauces for the fries.
Right.
So they sit it down, and he's like, Jason, it's all you. So I'm sitting there and I'm putting in orders. And by the way, my waitress, when I ordered one of the dipping sauces, she looked at me and goes, that one's like not very good. And I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Fuck you, you dumb bitch. What are you talking about?
Which
I
one?
didn't ask your fucking opinion.
Which one did you go with?
Oh, I have to. It was the spicy aola, the truffle aola. We went with the smoky spicy barbecue sauce, the basil mayonnaise.
Stop talking. Your
Jason's
jacket's,
just doing shots
your
of it.
jacket's getting smaller.
And then the French fries we got onion ring.
Bartender, I'd like another round, please.
And then the French fries that come out were we got regular French fries, thick French fries, and onion rings.
His eyes are closed.
And let me tell you something. I'm
He's
picturing
going to
it.
his happy place.
You guys want to leave me alone for a second? Teddy, you saw me in Vegas covered in French fries and mayonnaise.
Amsterdam. Oh my God, we lost Jason, and the pack of us were walking around, and we turn the corner, and we see Jason with this like giant cone of French fries with a mountain of mayonnaise on top.
It looks like Peter North just gave him a facial.
That's his happy place, like in Happy Gilmore when he pictures the image. It's Amsterdam with a giant thing of fries with mayo on top. That's Jason's.
I love it.
Happy.
I love it.
You should have gone to that place in Vegas, that the Heart Attack Diner. You know where all those fat people go to die.
We didn't leave. I would have loved to. I didn't even get to In-N-Out. We just didn't leave the hotel. We stayed at Mandalay Bay, and it was so big, and it had so many things in there. It was like really no reason to leave.
Right. You guys were very busy not working on the show. I remember.
Oh,
wow. Well, we were working. Also, I don't know what to say that. Some other good food I had there. I visited my friend works at the Mandarin Oriental, and it's cool. They have this bar up on like the top floor, and it overlooks all of Vegas. And he said, get the sliders. You'll love the sliders. So we ordered the sliders, and I took a bite, and I go, I could tell you the two things that make these one of the best sliders I ever had. And he goes, what? I go, the meat is moist. It's not dry. That always happens to sliders because you use such little meat and they cook it too much and it dries it out. But it was moist. And the bun was toasted and buttered. And he goes, that's our chef's signature thing. Toasted and butter in the bun. I go, I know. That's how you roll. That's how you have to roll.
So proud, Jason.
I am proud. All right. Enough about me. Let's get into page 69.
Page 69.
Hiya. All right. Well, page 69, we have a lot. And I know there's one that everybody wants to talk about, especially Teddy, and it is about Ronnie's Hot Chick of the Week.
Yeah, I mean, gingerly, we want to address this. I'm not trying to offend anyone, especially this current week's Hot Chick of the Week.
Hold on, let me just explain what it is. Since Ronnie got on Twitter and bought 200,000 followers, he has started a game called Hot Chick of the Week, where he has, and it's genius, by the way, I'll give Ronnie credit, he has girls on Twitter sending him naked pictures.
Right, little runaways.
Yeah, vying.
Little runaway.
He wouldn't have them any other way. He has hot chicks emailing him directly.
Right.
Make me your hot chick of the week.
Hot
Here's
chick of the week.
picture. Who knows how he's abusing that power? I hope he is. But
how fucked up do you have to be to like beg Ronnie to be hot chick of the week?
Well, you work at a strip club. Where
Pretty
Ronnie
damaged.
Right. I mean, how much abuse did your father have to put you through?
I don't know.
For that to be the goal.
Hey, listen,
anyway, we just
so this month
the
they're
overall
doing
feeling is that has that well started to run dry. I mean, we're not saying that the girls are unattractive, but they are increasingly becoming more and more clothed.
Yeah, clothing is the issue.
Which I mean, we're not trying to be that big of a perverted people, but Mr. Topless himself. Takes pride on having these hot chicks of the week, and most of them, for the most part, have been very naked. And then all of a sudden, now we're seeing friends of the show being put up there, cute girls that are super fans. We love you, but look, there's a protocol you have to follow.
I don't follow Ronnie for his wit. I don't follow Ronnie for his little theories on life. I follow Ronnie for tits and ass, and there's no tits and ass.
I don't know why I follow Ronnie. I really don't.
It's awful. It's like not toasting a bun.
I know who the hot chick of the week is going to be next week. She is she wants to keep it a surprise, but she is a fan that comes up here often, and she is a mother, and she is very, very cute.
Yes.
And
stretch marks in your future.
No, Will.
Followers.
This is. I would compare her to. I would compare her to the blonde Julie Benz on the Modern Family. Is that her name?
What?
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Julie Bowen.
If you met Julie Bowen in real life, she doesn't look like Julie Bowen, but she's a little skinny blonde, cute. Very cute.
Remember when Julie Bowen came on the show and talked about David Spade dumping her? I'm like, man, it's a man's world, isn't it? I don't know what that means.
I thought you knew who this was. So anyway, I want to see her naked. Like, I don't want to see sexy posed, artsy shots. If you're going to be the hot chick of the week,
here's my
there's a prerequisite.
Scars,
there
boys.
is definitely a prerequisit, and I'm sorry, but Ronnie, you got to get back on that.
Talk over all my jokes, motherfucker.
Oh, sorry,
Jesus Christ, you're filibustering over there.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Let's hear that gold again.
Asshole.
All right.
So
what are we doing? Page 69. We're doing that one, right?
Well, that's the page 69. Ronnie, what's going on with where the tits in the ass? That's what I'm saying.
The other funny thing about Ronnie is that I was listening to that story earlier with Scott DePace, and he's like, I got Scott DePace all his followers on Twitter. Like, he thinks he's the Twitter gatekeeper. Have you ever noticed that?
Well, if he retweets something you automatically get, 20,000 or whatever because he's got 200,000.
Right, because of Howard. So it should be like, he should be saying, oh, Scott, if you want to have more Twitter followers on Twitter.
Right.
I'm thanking Howard for everybody I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And by the way, somebody named No One on Twitter is reminding me, and I believe he or she is correct, that Howard actually came up with the idea for Hot Chick of the Week. He told Ronnie, do something with your Twitter. So can't even give Ronnie credit for that idea, which is so I called Ronnie a genius. I'm sorry, Howard, of course, is the genius. Ronnie was just smart enough to take his advice. Will, do the Richard Christie one with the escalator, because I didn't hear about this until you told me.
No, it's great. So over Christmas vacation, Richard and his wife went to Kansas, Richard's home state of Kansas. And on the way back, I guess Richard's he's very nervous about flying. So he gets shit drunk on these flights.
Right.
He tells me they tip the flight attendant like $20, and the flight attendant will let them drink as much as they want. So he got like shit canned. He wasn't even paying for drinks by the end of the flight. They were just, feeding him shots. So he gets off and he's got his luggage and they're going up the escalator, and somehow he just fell head over heels down the escalator. And said all the airport security thought he had like killed himself. They all come running over and they're shocked that he could get up on his own. He said he broke his brand new luggage, this awful trip, and they had to walk him out. They were all concerned that he was going to sue them because they literally thought he had died when he going down the fucking escalator.
Do you think that Richard could go a month without drinking?
No.
Like if he wanted to.
A month? No way. Howard's asked him that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's had him in there to talk about his alcoholism.
I'm the only one who takes the challenge. Tony in Maryland, welcome to Back Office Radio.
Hey, what's up, guys? I love your show, first of all.
Thank you.
But goddamn, I tell you what, the only time I ever turn the fucking dial when I'm listening to Howard's show is when that retard Ronnie is on. I tell you what, man, you guys all took the IQ test. I don't think Ronnie would. I think that he would probably score lower than a high-pitch Eric.
That might be possible. I will say Ronnie's one of my favorite guys, both on and off the air. I love Ronnie persona on air. Sometimes it goes a little too much, but I love him on air. I love him off air. I am a big Ronnie fan. And Captain, I'm wondering, this is Captain Jenks, says that Ronnie doesn't even pick the Hot Chick of the Week. Is that true, Captain?
No, well, I gotta say it this way, okay? I follow Ronnie's Hot Chick of the Week every single week. I think the girls he picks are great. And the girl that he's got now is really cute. I really think she's great, but she's a friend. She's a super fan, and she's not going to take off her clothes. There has to be a rule from now on. No friends of, the show, because they're the ones that aren't going to take off their clothes, and that's what Hot Chick of the Week is all about.
I agree with you, and I have to say, get used to it, because I believe this month is all going to be friends of the show. It's all going to be super fans.
Is that a theme or something?
It's a theme for the month.
Missed the memo.
So there's going to be no. So everybody who didn't, Ronnie hasn't paid to follow him. Just unfollow him on Twitter.
Even the ones we know a little bit, then that makes me want to see them naked even more.
Right. You should rename it Chicks and Clothes.
Hey, here's one that you and I both noticed. So we have these writing meetings every Tuesday, or our programming meetings, and we just basically load the studio up with chairs, and Howard sits on the studio couch, and the writers, the main writers, Richard, Sal, me, you, Gary, we all try and sit close to hear what's going on, to be able to pitch ideas. And
before you go any further though, the funny thing about this page 69 is, we go around the halls and ask everybody, say, hey, you got anything good this week? I think every single person that I asked gave me this item.
This was an unsolicited page 69.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I don't want to say there's assigned seats, but everyone kind of always sits in the same place week in, week out. Recently, Lisa G has been, what do you want to call it,
crawling her way to the front of the meeting.
Will and I, because we're attached at the hip, usually sit right next to each other at these meetings. And a couple meetings ago, I turn around and Will's not there. Lisa G's there. Right. And then Will's behind her. And I was like, what's with that? Then this week, Will, I guess you got in early or whatever. You sat down next to me.
I came in early intentionally so that Lisa couldn't steal a seat.
So then Lisa took the seat that Benji normally has, I think.
Which is like literally right in front of Howard.
Right. And then Sal and Richard were sitting on the floor behind Howard.
Yeah, no, they have to shout out their ideas from a different room.
So, it just...
I think next week she's going to actually be sitting on his lap.
Is Lisa actively participating, heavily? Is she trying to... Is she is she using that space?
Everyone participates in the meeting. There aren't assigned seats, but there is something weird when our head writers are sitting on the floor.
I mean, that's the point. Yeah. Listen, she contributes ideas, and some of them are actually funny. She does a good job, but... Again, we have a writing team.
Right,
she's here for the news stories.
Yeah. You got to earn that seat.
We have to go jump off page 69. We'll save some of these for next week because I really want to hit this underreported news story before we go to the break. So, let's hit it.
And now, the most overlooked Howard 100 News story of the week.
Howard 100 News. Backstage.
Could you go 30 days without porn, like Jason goes without weed?
Depends on, like, the level. Are we talking about just masturbation? Like 30 days? There ain't no way I'm going 30 days with. I would fucking kill someone by then.
That's a very honest J.D. Harmeyer. And the question that I asked him was inspired by Jason Kaplan's 30-day break from weed. So now the question to the staff, could you pass the John Hein test? 30 days with no beating your meat. Gary Delabate, could you do it?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah. I could, at very peaks and valleys for me, I could totally pull that off. It's something that I'm definitely not addicted to.
You are master of your domain.
Yeah, I mean, I do it because I like it, but I've had, long periods of time where I've almost go, God, I haven't done that in a fucking month. What happened?
The longest you've ever gone?
A couple of months.
Steve Brandano, 30 days without jerking it.
Sometimes I challenge myself in that way. So
feel like pissing yourself off every now and then?
Yeah, exactly. So I can both challenges I could do. My answer to you would be why.
Howard 100 News.
Sorry, I'm on the Twitter war now with David Webb. He's
You are? Oh, I love it.
He's giving me the challenge. Do you care to talk about this in the office? Hey, hey, Dave, we're in Studio 3. Why don't you come down there?
That would be great if you came down.
Hey, Dave,
Not
Studio
really,
3.
'cause he'd hog the air for the rest of the show.
Well, listen, that tea party is really taking off, you know? You can tell, hey, at the David Webb go, hey, guys, listen, right after Superfan Roundtable, I'll be taking Mutt's microphone.
Yeah, he's got a weird voice, too.
And he wears a beret. What a fucking
He
loser.
was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he wasn't wearing a beret with us, was he? That's hilarious.
So the story was, can people give up masturbating for, like I have given up weed? And we listened to this news story in our meeting the other day, and I immediately said, I think giving up weed is easier than giving up masturbating.
I think that's a good call.
Teddy?
Yeah, I think so, especially for some people around here.
But some of the answers were pretty funny. JD admitted he can't. Gary,
no, he said he was going to kill somebody.
Yeah, admitted he can't. He won't.
A little pent up.
He's addicted to that little pale penis of his.
Gary claims he goes months without jerking off. I find that hard to
and
believe.
he forgets about it. I don't know. Forgot about it.
Hey, Mary is pretty hot.
Well, listen, Howard does want to get more organized, so maybe he should put it on the list. Masturbate today. I've never heard, maybe it's an age thing, I don't know, but months? Could you go months?
I know, and it would certainly register that I had not jerked off in months if I didn't.
I think we also heard from Steve says that he imposes self-challenges to himself.
I will not masturbate again for the rest of the year.
I believe that.
Do you ever challenge yourself?
I think I did when I was a freshman in college. And you know what it is? It's all about getting laid. Because I remember I was like, oh, you know what? If I don't masturbate, it's going to motivate me to go out there and try and meet chicks.
How'd that work?
It was awful. I didn't get laid and I didn't masturbate for an entire 3 months.
I once went through a period where I stopped because I think I was starting to chafe. Like a retarded, like, I don't know what was going on.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
I don't know.
Maybe it's the black trench coat.
And Ronnie,
furry penis.
Ronnie still claims he doesn't jerk off at all because I don't have to.
I don't need to.
Because you're 80, asshole.
Exactly.
I got a human vacuum cleaner at home.
Because you need you need a generator.
Well, I mean, that's what he's implying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Al, how often do you masturbate?
Oh, average, a couple times a week.
And Steve, by the way, I made an asshole comment earlier in the show when I said the Howard TV guys don't seem to have to work as hard as us. No, like all of us, the higher ups in Howard TV don't.
You meant to say, Scott, the pace doesn't work as hard as the rest of us.
Because Dean and Ganji, I'll say that.
Okay.
But guys like Steve Prick and Rob Martin and all Greg Carmel and all those guys, the less you get paid, the harder you work. It just seems to be the way life goes. Will, how often do you masturbate?
Now, I try and do it once a week. It's very open too with my wife. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to stay up late and get this thing done, so I'll be in bed later.
It's so funny. Done. It's not open at all. I go to the bathroom for long periods of time because at home I like to close the door. I have my book or whatever with me. It's just quiet. No one's talking to me. And it was funny because I told this story on the air where I fell asleep right after masturbating in bed, and my wife came in and found the lotion bottle and my porn on my iPad, and it was gross. And she was like, I always thought you masturbated when you were in the bathroom. Like, every time you went in there, I thought you were masturbating. I'm like, no, I don't like masturbating.
No,
in
I was
the
just
bathroom.
taking huge gross shits, honey.
So that's the underreported news story. I thought everyone's masturbation habits were very interesting. I didn't want that to get lost. When we come back, Al, or not Al, anybody out there, if you have any grievances, if we said anything.
Anyone on staff that we've offended, please.
If you're upset with anything we've said, any way you've been portrayed on the air, come down.
David Webb.
David
Please,
Webb.
David Webb,
We're in
begging
Studio
you.
3, brother.
Is he here? I'll go walk around.
I don't know. He keeps tweeting me.
You can
so
help
he's
us
doing
clean up the
something.
studio when we're done.
We'll announce the douche of the week winner, although I have a good idea who that's going to be. And more. Your calls. We'll take them. 888-STERN-101. You're listening to Back Office Radio.
This is Back Office Radio with Will and Jason on Howard 101. If you had a childhood masturbation buddy, we will find out. Back Office Radio on Howard 101.
Haven't found mine yet. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Back Office Radio, 888-STERN-101.
You're what?
Oh, masturbation buddy.
You mean cancer?
You think I jerked off with cancer?
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
Can you jerk off when you have to?
Teddy did a quick run through the office to see if anyone had
No
any
grievances.
and nobody has any grievances, so I don't want to hear any complaints after the show today.
Everybody
from
loves
anyone
us,
back there.
except for that one guy who hates you.
Oh yeah, he's all like in a Twitter war with me. By the way, he's killing it with 16,000 Twitter followers. I think.
Serious patriot,
that's
baby.
more than me. So
Barely, Teddy, barely.
Anyway.
I have 48,000, Dave.
What? Body hairs?
Listen to this, David. I walked into the producer's booth. 1. Learn how to leave a studio for next show and grow up.
That's the worst black guy impression I've ever heard in my life.
It wasn't an impression. I'm just yelling.
Learn about politics.
Yeah. Well, he's sitting here. He's one of these gun nut guys. He's saying the NRA is more popular than Obama.
Yeah, that's the guy you want to piss off. The guy that, owns one of those fucking Bushmasters.
Well, I thought he must be one of the good guys with the gun, because that's what I keep hearing about. There's good guys with guns and bad guys with guns, and the NRA knows which is which. So, we got that figured out. Anyway, and then he called me classy. I spoke to you. You took it on the air. You have an issue. Man up. Talk to me, not on Twitter.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Dave, the only reason I didn't talk back to you last night is because I had no idea who you were, and I wasn't looking to get into a fight after a long day of fighting with everybody.
Friday night, Harrah's, Jason Kaplan.
Microphone's open. If you want to come back and discuss it with my bosses, feel free. I know my bosses have discussed it with your bosses, so...
Ooh.
But listen, when you get 30 years in radio, you garner this kind of respect.
Sounds like it, really.
It's actually 25.
When you get 30 years in radio, you have to go in and set up your own studio.
I'm in here 25 years in radio.
Right. You broadcast at midnight
Yeah, I
on
think
Sirius.
there's someone else here that's had 30 years in radio. It's called Howard Stern.
Oh, don't take the guns away from me.
Anyway, that's that.
Jason's fired up, man.
Will, we got anything going on the show next week? Howard Stern show?
We are working on I think 50 Cent might be coming in next week.
Ooh.
Which is always very cool.
Hey, Al, can you put up, if I can't do it, it can't be done for 50 Cent. I love that fucking song. If I can't do it, honey, it can't be done.
No, we
You're
don't
embarrassing
need it.
to
Just
rap.
sing it. Yeah, it's great.
Or you know what else I love from 50 Cent? Got to go to heaven. I'm going through hell. Got to go to heaven.
You can
Got
relate to a lot of these
heaven.
songs.
That's when Jason's hungry.
I just think they sound cool. Oh, that's cool. I like 50 Cent.
And
man.
we got a mother-daughter porn star team, which I always love. Those girls are always great.
Like Real Deal? If she really is the mom? Or is it?
Yeah, I mean, there's all these rules though with girls like that. Like they can't they can't like make out and have sex with each other, but they can share the same load. They can have a guy can go from one girl to the next in the same scene.
Oh, that's great.
It's just these blurry lines. So,
by the way,
we got that to look forward to.
That sounds great. By the way, douche of the week. It's either me or Dave, the Tea Party guy.
It's
go ahead. You know where I'm voting for Dave, so you guys have to
Jason's
do the tiebreaker.
back.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of made up for lost time. So we're going with the Tea Party guy, David.
Yeah,
Webb.
all right.
Dave,
You are
the Tea Party guy.
Douche of the week.
30 years in radio and you get an award. Congratulations.
it's first.
Check the mail. As far as I know, Back Office Radio will be back on the air next week at 12 p.m., but you never know. But I do know that today's show will be replayed at 6 p.m. Eastern on Howard 101. There is no intern show tonight because the intern show is moving to a monthly schedule, not a weekly schedule. And
Lighten Steve's load.
And one grievance is the guy who's counting how many times we say listen today. Listen.
How much time we have left on the clock?
Got a minute and a half.
You want to keep saying
I'm going to
listen?
take one more call. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody who hates Steve. Somebody wants to talk about masturbating, going to sleep. Scott the Pace's douchebag of the week. Let's just take yell about Steve. Tony in Detroit, welcome to Back Office Radio. Quickly.
I love you, Jason. I'll be real quick. Steve Brandano, fuck YOU. Dave Matthews Band, you're an idiot. This shows that you're just a pseudo-intellectual when it comes to music. Can you just imagine this guy at Bonnaroo doing this little Dave Matthews Band dance? Hey, Steve Brandano, suck the space between my balls and thighs.
Oh, my.
I love
Who's that, Alex Jones?
I love this guy. Tony, thanks for agreeing to the show. That sounded written down.
He was fired up.
He was fired up. Teddy, thank you. Will, thank you. Al Ragone, Jim McClure, Lindsay the intern, thank you all. Everyone who helped out.
I love
back
you.
office
Don't
radio
talk
team.
about Dave Matthews.
Thank
My
you.
favorite.
I love you guys.
I love you. Thank you to Steve for coming down. It's been a very fun, very trying time here. Oh, and don't forget to leave us a voicemail. Fuck, I just threw the...
Just crumpled it up.
Yeah,
whatever.
You got lunch on the brain, bro. Come on,
I'm
man.
hungry. Where do you guys want to go? Astro?
Wherever you're buying.
Evergreen, baby.
Oh,
always.
Evergreen.
All right.
All right, I'm hungry. Guys, have a great week. Talk to you next week on Back Office Radio, only on Howard 101.
Peace.